It's the Unhappy Hour.
Broadcasting to you live from the sinking pit of my stomach. I don't know. Milky Way galaxy, solar system, Earth, North America, United States of America, California, Los Angeles, California. But specifically from a sinking place in my stomach, the Cleveland Cavaliers found a way to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory in this Game 1 of the 2015 NBA Finals against the Golden State Warriors. Hey, give it to the Golden State Warriors. Hey, they outscored us like 10-0 in that overtime period. All right, fine. All right, we got 2 points. It was a 2-point layup from LeBron with like 20 seconds left. The game was over. We got beat convincingly in overtime. And you got Kyrie Irving hurt again. I swear, man, dude cannot catch a break. What are you going to do? You know, what did we do when Kevin Love went down? What happened when Kyrie Irving went down the first time? What did we do? We figured it out. And we're going to figure it out this time. Disappointing, yes. End of the world, no. But hey, we're called the Unhappy Hour for a reason. We're used to this stuff. Could Cleveland sports experience a championship any other way? No. No! This wasn't going to be easy. I wanted to think it could be easy. What I said was this. It was the same thing that I said with the Atlanta Hawks series. I said, if we can take Game 1, we can sweep. You know why? Okay, let's listen to some cymbals before I answer that question. This song composed by Sean Flynn, our former producer for The Unhappy Hour, here at thenewamericanmedia.com. Check out our homepage, thenewamericanmedia.com. On the right-hand side is the TNAM radio link. That's where you click play to listen live. Underneath that, Facebook, or you can do a search for The New American Media with spaces in between and then like our page. You know what you could also do? I don't know. How does this work? Special thanks to our producer, Amanda, today for lining up our guest, John Toburin. He'll be with us in just a moment. But how does that work? Can you ask to be invited into a private group for the Unhappy Hour Sports Show? Is that what it's titled? The Unhappy Hour Sports Show? Something like that. How do you do that? How do you make that request? You just do it, right? I don't know where you do that, but do it. What's that? Okay, so go to the Unhappy Hour Sports Show, but how can they find it if it's a private group? Oh. So do a search for the Unhappy Hour Sports Group and then Sports Show. There you go. The Unhappy Hour Sports Show on Facebook, and then you ask to join. And as long as you're like wearing a Cavs jersey or a Cavs hat, as long as you're not an ass hat like that dude Brian that keeps picking against the Cavs in the group, you know what? We're going to tear into you, buddy, until you come around. I know you don't like LeBron for the way he dissed us. I didn't like him either. I wasn't a big fan of that either. I root for laundry, my friend. For all of you guys out there, that's who I root for laundry. If you're wearing the Cavs jersey, that's who I'm going to root for. So, you know, join the group. It's fun because we got a lot of Pittsburgh Steelers fans in there. You know, we have Tiger fans in there. We got Michigan Wolverine fans in there. But it's like Clint. Come on, Clint. You know where you are. You know who you are. You're a Pittsburgh fan, but you're also a Cavs fan, an Indians fan, and a Buckeye fan. I went with you to a Buckeye game last year. You know, we've gone to football games together. Man, we got some stories about that. I won't get into it, but that's the point. Like, we're allowed to have these back and forth gentle jabs and gentle ribbing. You know, if you're going to be just a straight-up troll and try to be a jerk, then go somewhere else. Like, we're trying to keep it mostly civil, but that's kind of what we do on our other radio show. It's called Agree to Disagree. We cover politics, we cover spirituality, we cover religion and finance. We cover basically everything you're not supposed to talk about with people inside of a bar. That's what we love to talk about. A lot of liberty and freedom-minded politics. Check out that show. Definitely find us on Facebook by doing a search, The New American Media, with spaces in between. On the homepage of thenewamericanmedia.com, right underneath the Facebook, it's also our Twitter link. We're at American_media_. Hey, Miss Producer, what is the name of Greg's Twitter handle? It's at More Humor and then at Greg Time. I think that's it. I think I got both of those right. We've launched a new show. We're in episode number 5. That's episode numero 5 for all of our Latin listeners out there. We appreciate each and every one of you. Muchos gracias. Gracias. But we're launching a new show called Sports and More with Greg Moore. That's Moore. Follow him at, what is it? At Greg Time. Yeah, just do that. We'll just start with at Greg Time. His name's Greg Moore. He's going to be live tweeting with us in theory if he's able to do so. But I digress. We got a lot of stuff going on. And finally, before we get to our guest John Toburin, I want you to go ahead and go to youtube.com/thenewamericanmedia. Click subscribe. We're almost at like 500,000 video views. We just celebrated our 4-year anniversary, and things are really good. Somewhere around 470,000 video views on YouTube. This has been a pet project of mine for a while. I love sports. I played baseball when I was growing up. I fought really hard. I was in the minor leagues, and I wanted to go to the major leagues. And I didn't like that they held me back, and I kind of, I complained. I said, Coach, I can do better, and this and that. And I really fought for it, and they brought me in the majors. But you know what? I wasn't ready for it, and I kind of fizzled out in baseball. So I switched over, and I played football, and I played tennis on our varsity teams, and then won an intramural championship in our basketball team. So I've been playing sports my entire life. Basically, my entire life. How's that? Is that any better? Here, is that better? Okay, sorry about that, listeners. I'm also the producer, the engineer, the showrunner. I'm the gaffer. I am the best boy. I am all those things if you look on the credits. No, I'm a bit of a jack of all trades, and that's what I'm getting at, though. 2 points. I'll get back to my sports experience and why I think it's really important. But we are looking for other people that want to do radio shows here. Greg Moore is doing a show, Sports and More with Greg Moore, on blogtalkradio.com/thenewamericanmedia. We've done 5 episodes. We're kind of warming up in front of everybody in the world. Anyone with a computer, you guys can all join us in this beta test as we're warming up. I don't know that we've had an official launch yet, but we're on episode 5, going on number 6. Greg's going to be broadcasting live tomorrow. He's guessing somewhere around 1 p.m. Eastern Time. But that's why we're saying we want you to sign up for notifications on our Facebook page, on our YouTube page, actually our Twitter page and our Facebook page. Because when we send out alerts, it's like, hey, we're going live, click this link, and you can join us. And especially on Greg's show, you can call him live. Listen to his previous episodes, blogtalkradio.com/thenewamericanmedia, Sports and More with Greg Moore. But getting back to sports real quick, it's always been important to me. It's taught me a lot of lessons. I know several people that I grew up with, went to school with, people who joined the military, or there's a few other things people do, but military is the main one for me. People that needed that direction, they needed that discipline, they needed that structure in their lives. I'm not going to say I was a bad kid, but I'm going to say that I enjoyed trying to see as much... How much could I get away with? Just goofing around for laughs. It was pretty much it. I wasn't like an evil kid, but I liked goofing around and trying to see how far we could push things. And football provided a lot of that discipline that I needed. All the coaches, all the system, the learning, the team captains, the offensive captain, the defensive captain. Played on an undefeated team. I played defensive end. And I got a lot of those lessons that I needed. I needed to kind of get smacked around a little bit. I needed it. I was a very cocky kid. And at some point, you're either cocky or you're confident. Look at Steph Curry. Look at LeBron James. Are they cocky or are they confident? What does Kid Rock say? It ain't bragging, mother effer, if you back it up. You know, like they're good and they know it. And, you know, I was a cocky kid, and I'm trying to get past that. But I needed that structure. I didn't want to join the military. I decided that was not my path. I didn't want to be the pawn in somebody's game. You know, and God bless everybody that's out there serving and has served. However, I needed that structure, and I found a lot of lessons in sports, be it tennis, basketball, football, etc. And what it would mean for the city of Cleveland to bring home a title, it would mean the world. It would mean that after 143 professional seasons of sports, dating all the way back to the Cleveland Browns in 1964, it would be the first time that city, the place that I grew up about 25 minutes outside of, you know, I lived in the suburbs, but that was a city. Like, I went to the Indians games, the Cavs games, the Browns games. That's what I did. That was my city. And it still is my city, even as I'm out here in Los Angeles, California. That city needs something to hang its hat on. And I'll tell you what, I said earlier, just like I said in the Hawks series, if we can take Game 1, we can even sweep this thing. The pressure on the Warriors would have been insurmountable in Game 2. They would have crumbled, and the Cavs were not going to screw it up at home in 2 games. All right, so you know what? We did not win Game 1, so we're not getting it done in 4. All right. But I expect to get a split out of this series, and I expect you guys to be positive too. There are lessons to take away from this, and despite the fact that Kyrie Irving went down again today, and we'll talk about that, this team is tough. They are scrappy, and I'm telling you, Golden State had no idea what they were in for with the defense that we threw at them. And we can do a lot better. We had quite a few screw-ups in that game. There's no way around it. We had screw-up after screw-up after... Okay, you know what, and I'll give you this. I'll give you this. For people out there listening, maybe like Greg, maybe like Corey, maybe like Jennifer, right? Jennifer might be listening to this program at some point. For anybody out there listening... The Warriors also had a crappy game. They had a lot of turnover. And you can expect a lot of these jitters in Game 1. You know? That's fine. But I think the Cavs have a ton of room to improve. I know that Kyrie might not be out there, and Kyrie had a good game. He looked really good out there, and those blocks, whew, damn near saved the game. He really did save the game for us with that block on Curry. You know, so we're going to have to wait and see what happened with his leg. Can he bounce back? Like, Lord, it's just so painful to watch the injuries kicking in. But, you know, anyway, we'll talk about that in a second. We're going to bring in special guest John Toburin, taking a couple moments out of his time to join the show, and we're going to talk about this game that we just witnessed here tonight. It was a tough one. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It was tough. And we'll get John.
Hello.
John is Brian. You are live. Welcome to the Unhappy Hour show. How are you doing today, sir?
Oh, I am live, huh?
You're live, buddy. Yes, so anything you wouldn't say in front of Grandma, don't say it now. That's how we roll here. It's a little bit of a ta-da. Welcome. John, thanks for joining us again, man. It's been a while since you've been on our show. Can you, for the listeners who maybe haven't had a chance to talk to you or listen to you in a while, can you just introduce yourself real quick and tell them like what you're up to in the world of Cleveland sports?
Oh yeah, I don't have Twitter anymore because Cleveland Twitter is the most violent, angry Twitter in the world. But
hold on. Cleveland Twitter is the most violent Twitter in the world.
Oh my God!
Is it run by Bone Thugs and Harmony?
Idea.
Who's running Cleveland Twitter? Busy Bone or Crazy Bone?
The last time we spoke, we were on Twitter. Since then, every person that I know that I met from Twitter is off of Twitter because Cleveland Twitter is angry.
Yeah, well, you know, it's easy to see why Cleveland Twitter might be a little angry today. We did have an opportunity. We let it slip through our grasp. We did lose the game 108 to 100 in overtime.
Don't even.
I know, man. Hey, look, if I didn't even want to go there, I wouldn't have to talk to you tonight. But unfortunately, we got to break down what we saw happen. Of course. What is your takeaway from this game? I got a couple of points I want to bring up, but I want to hear what you had to say. Like, watching what you saw, watching it go into overtime, what did you learn about the Cavs and the Warriors, and how do you feel about Game 2 and the possibility of taking this series?
I learned that the Cavs are the better team. If you're going to let most Speeds hit, I don't even know, 10, 12, 14 points tonight, I will take that. My biggest problem from tonight was the end of the regulation and a certain superstar taking a 25-foot fadeaway jump when he could have drove and at least gotten a foul.
He had about, maybe 4 or 3 seconds at that point, and he chose to just take this big, long three-pointer to win the game. Unnecessary. A three was not necessary at that point.
No. I still feel we're winning in 6 games.
I still feel we're winning too.
The Cavs.
Yes, I still feel that too. Disheartening after losing this one, but all that means is we can't get a sweep. We can still get it in 5. Right. Okay, fine.
Right.
Big deal.
And I mean, it hurts me because I'm going to Game 4, and I really was hoping for a sweep. Because if we would have won tonight, we would have murdered them on Sunday.
They would have had all. They would have had all of their morale sucked out of them.
Right.
There's no doubt about it. And that's what I said. Yeah. I said, if we can just take Game 1, we got this, man.
Yeah, and even if LeBron drives and makes it at the last second, like he should have, instead of doing his stupid little fadeaway LeBron shot, it would have demoralized that team regardless. Now, all of a sudden, they have hope. So now, all of a sudden, we have to worry about them feeling more confident coming into Game 2. If we would have won this game tonight, even on LeBron on a fluky drive, foul, or whatever, we take Game 1, that puts the doubt in. Same as the series last against the Hawks. You steal that Game 1 and you put that little tiny bit of doubt because everybody's been on the Hawks nuts and has been on the Golden State Warriors nuts the whole season. And then all of a sudden you roll into their building and
punch
you
him in
steal
the
the
teeth.
game.
Yeah, punch him in the teeth, steal that Game 1, and everybody goes, oh, crap, maybe I, you know?
Exactly.
I'm getting some questions here. I want to bounce to a few of these real quick, but one of them coming in from Greg Moore. He's the new host of Sports and More.
Oh, Greg Moore.
Yeah. Now, you know what? You guys are buddies. And I got to tell everybody out there,
I'm good with Greg.
On Facebook,
I like Greg.
You guys have to do a search for The Unhappy Hour Sports Show. You can ask for an invite to our private sports group. We're not opening this up to our 17,000 Twitter followers, our 2,500 YouTube subscribers, or, 700 or 800 on Facebook, however it is. This is invite only. I got to be able to look at your profile and clearly determine that you're a Cleveland Cavalier fan, or else you're not getting in right now. But you can request to join. But, yeah, that's how you've met Greg. But he asked a question a second ago, and it's exactly what you're saying because he's listening live. He says, how annoying is Mo Spates? How annoying is he?
I think he's more annoying because he played for us. And if he wouldn't have, and then he just walked away. And he actually was good for us when he played for us.
He was.
And that's when we were a shitty team. We were shitty.
He was
and
good.
He was like the highlight was Kyrie. Can you imagine him coming off the bench with Kyrie?
That's insane to think about.
That's what annoys me a lot because I see Mo State, and he was with us, and then he didn't want to be here.
Right.
Which,
would you
gives
before
me more
LeBron?
Motivation.
Well, before LeBron or before Kevin Love, did you want to be here? Like, we were bad for 4 years. We were bad.
Look.
I know.
I was at games at the Q when it was a 29 losing Street.
Oh God.
I was there.
I used to.
Yeah,
You know what that
was
reminds me
brutal.
of, John?
It
You
was
know,
painful.
that reminds me of when
Yeah.
I used to go to Cleveland Indians Stadium, Municipal Stadium, down on the lakefront, and you know the Indians would be 30 games out of first place and stuff. They were so bad, but I still went and I still loved Corey Snyder and Joe Carter and you know all of these guys, Carlos Baerga, Brooke Jacoby. Yes. Finally, a Brooke Jacoby reference on the Unhappy Hour.
Yeah.
This is Andy Allenson, 87 Tops card. Come on, I'm just saying. I'm gonna throw some names out there. No, but I mean, we're used to bad teams. We're used to, but you saw Spencer Hawes.
Right.
He has some skill playing for the Clippers. You saw Tyler Zeller playing for the Celtics. But you know what? I'll take Kevin Love and LeBron James over any of those guys either way. But
Right. Yes. Definitely I would.
Yeah, but another question
But it hurts.
It does. It does. He kind of took it personally. He had a great game. I hate having to say
yes,
it
he did.
because I would love to be sitting here laughing up 1-0, but instead I'm eating crow. You know, I'm eating my hat. I don't know what phrase or terminology you want to say.
There's no eating crow. I said 6 games regardless.
Like I said, I called if the Cavs
by
can
the
win
way,
game 1.
you need to burn that.
Tell me about it. Okay,
cigar.
hold on.
No, it's bad juju. It's bad juju. Bad juju.
All right, we're going to get to the cigar. Look, I just made a special note, and we're going to talk about the cigar before we finish, because this is interesting, and you have a very strong take on it. But before we get to the cigar...
I'm very superstitious, but go ahead.
That's called a tease in the radio business, and we'll be right back on the New American Media.
Yes, it is.
Just kidding. Okay. Greg is also asking another question. Greg Moore is. You can follow him at Greg Time on Twitter. He's asking, though, about Maurice Spates and the other players. He's saying, are the Warriors bench too much for the Cavs to overcome? What do you think, John?
I always worried about their bench. The thing is that if you get J.R. Smith, even tonight, J.R. Smith came off and gave us, 12, I think?
Yeah, he was doing
9
good
or
for
12.
Yeah, he was doing good for a minute there.
But he was amateur tonight. I mean, yes, their bench is deeper. The problem is we have better shooters coming off our bench. So I'm torn. Their bench does give me worries because it's deeper in scoring, but I believe our rotation is better because you're going to sub out Shumpert and bring in JR.
Right.
Or you're gonna have both of them. If both of them get hot at the same night, you're done. Like, Golden State can't compete with
They
them.
have such a chemistry from back to their New York Knicks days. They really do have a chemistry you can't teach. It takes years to get that. And these two are like a brother and sister stray cat that you find and you bring them inside or something. It's like they're buddies for life. Like they grew up together. They spent time together. J.R. Smith and Iman Shumpert, they have that going for them. And when you get them going at the same time, it's lights out for the other team on most occasions. And let's face it, with Kyrie Irving going down, we're going to see either Dellavedova, Shumpert, J.R. Smith, some sort of combination of that, and probably a lot more of both of them on the floor at the same time. And when they take a breather, Dellavedova is going to be up in everybody's face, playing really good defense. I think our team has changed, and we don't know about the Kyrie Irving injury just yet, but it didn't look good. I mean, the guy is just walking.
God, no.
Whoa, hang on. Something is playing somewhere. There we go. And I'm turning that off. Yeah, I know. But when they're playing good, they can take down a lot of different teams. And you know what? The Cavs, just like all off-season, just like during the regular season, just like after the trades, and with the Kevin Love injury, guess what? We have to move on the fly and assume that Kyrie Irving can't give us a great game like he did tonight. That block on Steph Curry, that saved us, and it gave us an opportunity for that last that last-second shot attempt. What did you make of Irving's performance tonight prior to the injury?
Kyrie left everything out on the table. I mean, this was him going full bore and playing his heart out and proving to LeBron and everybody else on the team that, yes, I'm hurt. And when he walked off, he was done.
He was done.
He proved to everybody that, hey, look, I'm all I'm not going to use this cheesy thing, but I'm. He was all in. Like he proved to LeBron that I'm going to fight through it as much as I can.
23 points.
And that's all. And that's all LeBron wants.
Let me read you the stat line real quick on Kyrie Irving. Only 1 turnover, 2 blocks, 4 steals, 6 assists, 7 rebounds, and he had 23 points on 10 of 22 shooting.
Yeah.
This was a pretty darn good night for Kyrie Irving, all things considered, until he got injured.
Yeah, if Kyrie is 100% healthy, I'm not even worried about this series. I honest to God, if Kyrie's 100% healthy and LeBron's 90%, I worry now because I don't, as much as I want Dellavedova to be all right, he's no Kyrie. And the stats that you just read off proves it. Delly will do his thing, but it's not Kyrie. I can live with Kyrie and LeBron being 100% healthy. I won't even care about this series. But now you have LeBron and a bunch of their, role players. I mean, Shumpert and Smith are just role players. Really good role players, but they're still role players this year. That's a lot of pressure on these guys to come through to win a title with a team that's actually really healthy that we're playing against.
Yeah, I really wanted to take this game. This was something that, like I said, we snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. Talk about that last-minute shot. You already discussed why you thought it was such a bad move for LeBron to take that three-point jump shot with 4 or 3 seconds left. But talk about what happened right after that. Rebound, Iman Shumpert catches it in the air, takes the shot. Lord Almighty, tell me, John, did you not think that thing was going in?
At the point of shot, yes, I thought it was going in.
I thought we had it.
I just thought the karma and the Shump, J.R. Smith, the karma coming from the shitty Knicks to an actual winner, and I just felt when Shump threw it up, I'm like, oh my God, it's going in because he's going to turn around and look at the camera and leave it. F you, Phil Jackson. And
it didn't work out that way. It just did.
And then I went, why didn't LeBron effing drive? Because nobody was stopping him. He would have got fouled, and he would have at least made one of 2.
Yeah, but let me ask you this, though. I mean, if Cleveland is to win our first title in 143 professional seasons dating back to 1964 between the Indians, Cavs, and the Browns.
2072, 82 years, yes.
A long time. But if that's to happen, John, if we're going to break this curse, the curse of Rocky Calavito, as some people call it, is there any other way? It's not going to be easy. Like, if Cleveland does this, it's going to probably go 7 games, and that was my prediction a couple of months ago when I've, learned more about the team and I've kind of recalibrated. But my initial projection was Cavs over the Warriors in 7. There's no way if this is our year to get that title, it wasn't going to be easy, right?
No, oh God, no. I mean, I have the Cavs in 6.
You got them in 6. I got them in 7.
I will sacrifice my firstborn to go to that game. Yes, I will. And yeah. Oh, I gotta move out of the bathroom now because somebody's got to pee. I will still sacrifice my firstborn, and then I will welcome you and Amanda back into the CLE, into my illustrious abode to celebrate for the party.
Well, and I'm listening to ESPN Cleveland today, John, and they're talking about what would it mean to the city and what would the parade be like, and it's like, man, we can't get ahead of ourselves. But in my mind, we've already won this title. History and time has not caught up with that moment yet.
Oh no, and that's the scary thing is because there's a lot of people that have already brought this title back home, and I'm like, no, you don't understand. Golden State, I would have rather faced the Rockets or Memphis, and I would have been like, yep, we're bringing this title home. Golden State, the way that Curry and Thompson shoot, you can't discredit them for anything. It could be Game 7 and they could be down by 20, and those MFers will rattle off 15 straight in a second and a half. I mean, and that's why Golden State scares me.
Well, we got to see it. We battled to a tie at the end of regulation, and I'm going to break this into a couple different questions here because right before the end of regulation, Timofey Mozgov knocked in a basket, and it was called off as traveling. And upon the replay,
oh my God,
there was no traveling here. This is a game.
Murdered somebody.
This is a game that the Cavaliers won at that point. Basically, won the game, or at least, let's just say that they had a very good chance of winning the game at that point. Called off on a BS call. What do you make of that?
I make of that the NBA has been fixed, and it's always been fixed. And when they did the replay, there was no travel. Like I'm a big person of looking at when they travel, and I'll call LeBron out when I'm at a game. I'm like, oh my God, he took like 17 steps. That should be a travel.
A lot of us have said that. A lot, and actually, and I'll say in this game though, John, a lot. I saw quite a few strong elbows from LeBron that were not called. Okay, so I mean, like, I'm not. I don't want to pin it all on one call. Like, woe is us. We had a call go against us because we had many go for us. But in the prime, most important time of the game, that traveling just was not a traveling by Mozgov. It just wasn't.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. And again, I allegedly tried to play the game. Not well. But I know the rules.
Right.
And that was the farthest thing from a travel I have seen. I watched Steph Curry 2 plays beforehand take like 19 steps. And nobody called it. And LeBron's guilty of it too. He takes like 17 steps. But you call it on an actual play that was it was perfect. He had his pivot step, he did a pivot right, and then he drove in and then kept his pivot foot the whole time. And that's what everybody, like, I'm 6'8", so I'm tall, so I'm supposed to play the post. Keep your pivot foot. That's always ingrained into my head. And then they call travel on that. So what are these kids supposed to do?
It was pretty weak.
He was perfect.
It was pretty weak. I don't want to sit and cry over spilled. I mean, it's not like the shot or the drive or the fumble or something, but the travel, like that kind of sucked because you saw the ball turn around and go in. That was a basket. That totally we could have a win right now, no overtime. You know, who knows if I don't even remember if Kyrie was hurt at that point, but it's just it's tough to watch, you know, and that has a lot of us thinking, John, can the Cavs win without Kyrie? I know you called him in 6, but now after watching how much Kyrie did for this team and knowing that he's gone now, do you really, really, in your heart of hearts, think that the Cavaliers can still win this without Kyrie Irving? Because apparently he left the arena in crutches.
Yeah, I do. Because I think the team can rally around Delly, and then all of a sudden Shumpert's going to get that more of, all right, I need to make this shot. And then obviously JR is just going to roll in and be like, I'm just going to drill everything. It's kind of the same thing with the Bulls series. You know, Kyrie goes down, and who steps up? Delly stepped up a little bit, but Shumpert and J.R. Smith just rolled in, and they destroyed everybody. Like, you could you could throw a hand in the face of either one of them, and they knew they were making it. So, yes, losing Kyrie is awful, but I still think this team can beat Golden State. I think they're mentally tougher because of all the people that we've lost, I think that we can beat them.
And it's weird to think of it that way, but I'll tell you what, when your back's up against the wall, that's when it's like, people say, never corner like a raccoon or a coyote or a bear or something.
Exactly.
Like if you creep up on something and it's pinned into two corners, it has nowhere to go but through you, and like a different level of intensity kicks in. And I think LeBron James
don't corner. I look at it like this: don't put a team led by LeBron, who should have won, and he knows. I guarantee you, he knows that he should have drove that ball instead of taking that awful layup. Don't put that team in a corner going, oh, if you lose this, you're going to lose the title, because that team is going to come out fired up, and every single player is going to play off of LeBron. And I guarantee a win on Sunday.
Oh, we're going Joe Namath style.
Yes. Yeah, I just got the bathroom door closed on me because everybody else wants to go to sleep. But I'm still talking.
Hey, you know what? In the podcast world, we run into that stuff a lot.
What's up?
No, go ahead. I'm waiting on you. Guarantee me. Guarantee me.
Oh no, I guarantee you a win on Sunday. We come back to Cleveland on Tuesday, 1-1. I guarantee you that.
And then, so you see the Cavs winning in 6 at home. Yeah, okay.
Yes. Oh, yes. Cavs will win in 6 at home. I'm still on that bandwagon.
But what do you make, John, of the Cavs falling apart the way that they did in overtime? I mean, they just absolutely collapsed, and that is something I didn't really expect to see. What do you make of that?
That one's rough.
Because essentially we were outscored 10-0.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know how to make it. Like, they missed a shot. I think it was just they got distracted by LeBron's awful shot. And I don't think they ever. Honestly, I blame it all on LeBron. If he would have drove and then not made it, I think the team would have been different. But LeBron missing that fadeaway, his attitude probably played a fact in the way that we played in the overtime.
In what way? How do you think? In what way?
I just think this team thrives off of whatever LeBron's attitude is. Because you can look at the Atlanta series. When LeBron was feeling it and he still wasn't making shots, J.R. Smith and Shumpert they were drilling it. It was lights out.
They were.
So I really think LeBron taking that fadeaway, there was something mentally in that the team just lost their steam. I don't know if it was them looking at LeBron going, why didn't you drive? Or, holy fuck, LeBron didn't make a shot. I just think it was something there that they just didn't mesh well in the overtime. It happened.
By the way, I'm getting a report right now from Brian Windhorst at ESPN. He's saying that Kyrie Irving left the arena on crutches. His initial diagnosis regarding ACL and MCL is no tear, but there will be an MRI tomorrow.
Right.
So
that's the normal.
Yeah, well,
I never expected Kyrie to play much in this series.
He had a great game tonight. His he had a couple of amazing blocks.
Amazing.
He turned into Tristan Thompson.
Wow.
He turned into Dwight. Who's the best? Who would you say is the best shot blocker since Dikembe Mutombo? Who do we have as shot blockers? Like Anthony Davis. Who are the
God. Yeah. AD. Tristan's amazing.
Yeah, he's doing really good. But that was Kyrie tonight. That was Kyrie. He was knocking those shots away from the MVP.
But that's also a glimpse into the future of healthy Kyrie.
Yeah, but if we got to wait till 2015-16 for healthy Kyrie, that ain't going to help us in this one.
We will. But that's the thing is, we're not getting healthy Kyrie the rest of the playoffs. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's
it's
so bad.
and it sucks, especially for him because he was definitely like buying into everything. But it literally is the next man up, and that's where Delhi comes in. And as much as I hated him all long, he's proved in the playoffs that he can at least minimize the turnovers. If he doesn't throw 4 or 5 alley-oops that I want to murder him for, he'll be all right. We need J.R. Smith and Shumpert and James Jones to hit from the outside and let LeBron beat those assholes down in the paint. If that happens, we're not going to lose. Today, we didn't. There was 4 or 5 shots that Shumpert and J.R. Smith both had together that were halfway down and then bounced out.
Yes, there were a handful of those. It was it went down in the rim and then it bounced out. And you're like, how did that even miss? You
add those in, we're not even in overtime. So
well, but you know what? Our free throw shooting too, though. Our free throw shooting, we were 13 of 20. Yeah. Like one of those keeps us out of overtime. You got to knock those down. And that's why I always hated that the Cavaliers let Mark Price end up with another team instead of coaching us on how to shoot free throws back in 07, 08, 09, and 10 when we needed to learn that stuff. I couldn't stand it. And really, it was the free throws also that kept us out of winning this game in regulation today.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, you look at LeBron, the best player in the world. I mean, I'm not going to argue it. You tell me a better player all around in the world.
Nah, I got nothing.
But he still can't shoot. He still can't shoot free throws. He's a 70% free throw. He's me. I'm a 6'8", lanky white dude, and I could shoot 70%. And he's the best player in the world.
I would actually like to go back and get stats. I'm sure we don't have them from our intramural team when I played. I wonder what my free throw percentage was. I had a couple decent games.
Probably better than LeBron.
I don't even recall how many times I went to the line or any of that. The whole season was a blur. We won a title, but back to winning titles, John. You're basically saying, and because a couple of these things are coming from Greg Moore. He's doing our second show. It's called Sports and More with Greg Moore. You can follow him on Twitter at GregTime. But he was saying, he mentioned the garbage travel call on Mozgov. We already talked about that. Does Game 1 change your predictions? No, you're still calling Cavaliers in 6. But he had an interesting stat. Greg says LeBron versus Andre Iguodala. LeBron had 11 points on 4 of 14 shooting, just 4 of 14, including 2 of 7 in the fourth quarter. But against everyone else, he had 27 points on 12 of 22. Who do you see coming out making the better adjustments in the second game, John?
Deep down, I actually see LeBron and Blatt making the better adjustments than Kerr and whatever he has there. I just think LeBron is so cerebral, and Blatt feels the other part of the team that they're going to come out and they're going to, I honestly think they're going to decimate Golden State, and they're going to take their soul away in Game 2. I really think there's going, I honestly think there's going to be a beatdown.
Decimate them and take their soul.
We're going to love it.
Hey, John, I want you to make some t-shirts. We will decimate you and take your soul. Hashtag all in, hashtag Cleveland, hashtag Cavs. Hey, I want t-shirts, John.
I have hookups at GVR and at Cleveland Clothing Company, so I can make this happen.
All right. We will. Okay, we'll have to listen to this to get the wording exactly right. But hey, man, we got to run. John, thanks for joining us last minute. Unfortunately, it was under lousy circumstances. But hey, maybe we could reconnect for Game 2 after a win, and hopefully it's 1-1 headed back to Cleveland. John, you have a great night, sir. Thanks for joining us again. For everybody out there, check out thenewamericanmedia.com. Subscribe. YouTube.com/thenewamericanmedia, at American_media_ on Twitter, and search for The New American Media on Facebook. I appreciate you. I love you, and I'm out.
You are listening to The New American Media.
Hi, everybody.
everybody. You're listening to Agree to Disagree with Brian Engelman, and this is John B. Wells reminding you that not only is Brian Engelman a cool guy, and not only is the newamericanmedia.com a very cool platform, but here's a cool idea for you, too. Are you alone? Not really. Do you like dogs? Do you like cats? You do. Of course you do. Everybody does. One or the other, maybe even both. You know, there are a lot of dogs and cats that are at shelters right now, and if somebody doesn't take them home, they're going to wind up euthanized. That's a nice way of saying they're going to be killed because there's simply not enough room. I guarantee it, the best dogs and the best cats, the best pets come from shelters. There's something about dogs and cats. They know. They know where they are. You walk through one of them, and certainly at least one is going to look at you and go, I wish you'd take me home. I'm in hell. Please take me out of here. It'll be the best thing that you ever did for your soul. You'll feel good about it. And not only that, but you have a friend for life. Doesn't matter if you got money, you don't have money. Well, it doesn't make any difference to a dog or cat. All they need is the sound of your voice and maybe even the stroke of your hand, and they're fine. Maybe a little food every once in a while. The sweetest sound that those pets ever hear is your voice. Think it over and adopt a cat or a dog from a local shelter today. I'm telling you, you'll be glad you did.